Hi guys! So we're going to talk about the two worst things that you can do for your health. And these I actually came up with because I was talking with someone on my team this morning, and it's actually something that I struggle with, is learning balance. So my gut got to the point where I was starting to gain weight just because I went over my 20 carb limit a day diet on keto, and that's so restrictive, and my mindset slowly started to change, and I've always been low carb for the last long time. Oh, hey Jen, I'm so glad to see you here live even. So I've been eating healthy, low carb, no sugar for years. And then last year I decided I really need to kick up my weight loss journey. And so I started to do keto. And somehow along the way, my thinking started to change about how I see food. And I started to see it as a restriction. So I started to look at it as all the things I can't have. And counting my carbs became a big part of that. And it changed how I think. I'm so glad to see you having your water and stretching. That's awesome, Jen. Those are two very helpful things for keeping healthy. Okay, so tell me, anybody else that's online as well, what diets have you done? What things have you tried? And did it work? And if you're on a replay watching this after I'm live, just type in replay and then tell me what diets you've tried. So I just said that I've tried the keto diet, and of course I did a low carb diet, hypoglycemia diet, and those ones worked pretty well. It was when I decided that weight loss was my priority that things started to go a little bit off. So one of the worst things you can do for your health is to change your perspective to be all about weight loss. So if it's not about health, if it's not about healing, if it's not about getting your body into a healthier state, a more balanced state, then you have to change your thinking a little bit and really check yourself, because that became a problem for me, where it was so much about weight loss that when I would have a day where I would go over my 20 pounds, 20 carbs limit for that day, I actually would be like, oh, well, what's the point? I've broken my 20 carbs. I may as well go crazy, so I'd eat a chocolate bar. And then what would happen, and I was telling a teammate about this, I would end up being like, well, I may as well enjoy myself, and I'd eat like 20 chocolate bars. Well, this is not a good way to think about it. And so somewhere along the way, my thinking changed. So number one worst thing that you can do for your health is to make your weight loss more important than your health. So if your focus is healing your gut and bringing balance into your life and health to your body, then along with that, with your weight loss goals, you're going to end up being able to sustain your diet longer. Number two, of course, sugar. Sugar is like so toxic to our bodies. It does all kinds of things to our insulin levels and our cortisol, and it gives you the spikes that make you really, really high up, and then you crash. And then like I did this the other day when I had my 10 chocolate bars. And then my whole day was shot because I indulged and I overate. Now, one thing that I did learn that is new to me just this morning that I found really interesting is our, okay, I have to look at my notes here because this is new. Okay, so there is a cortisol thing that happens when you let yourself deprive yourself to the point where you're starving. Your cortisol shoots up, your body goes into fight or flight mode, and you end up with that gnawing hunger that actually makes you have a bit of tunnel vision, so that all you see is this desire for that thing you can't have, like chocolate bars. And so then all of a sudden your focus changes from being healthy and staying away from things that are bad for you to I must have carbs. This isn't healthy. So what happens is not just a physical response, it's an emotional response where I become selfish, where all of a sudden chocolate is more important than all the things I have to do that day. And that is just so unhealthy for our psyche, our minds, our bodies. Everything suffers from that, because then you're dealing with guilt, and then you have your ups and downs from your sugar crashes. So those are my two top things to not do when you're trying to stay healthy. Now, I did a little bit of research this morning on intermittent fasting. I've been researching it for a couple years. My husband has type 2 diabetes. I've got hypoglycemia. So we know all about the ups and downs of sugar crashes and highs and lows. And so intermittent fasting is something that can really help, but it has to be done right. And you have to do it slowly. So I have a lot of really great tips and information on that. If you're interested, please send me a message. I'd love to connect with you. And any questions that you have or anything, please get in touch. Please leave me some comments. And thanks, guys, for the likes and love and for being here with me. Really great to see you. We'll see you tomorrow.